It's only 4 days until we leave for Disneyland, and I can tell you the excitement is building. Today, we're talking about pins and pin trading. I am so excited to be able to get back to Disneyland, and one of the things I absolutely love about the Disney theme parks is pin trading. Not that I do very much of it, as you can see. Yeah, I actually have 5 binders full of pins. You can only see 4 of them here. And yes, they're just filled with all sorts of different pins and different things. And so, I've got a lot of pins. I think I counted that I'm somewhere around 500 or 600 pins at this point. So I love pins. Pin trading at Disney is one of the most fun things that you can do, and there are all sorts of different kinds of pins, including ones that other parks have now gotten into the business of doing, which you can see a lot of these are ones that my viewers have sent me as well. And there's a lot of wonderful, wonderful pins, and it's just a neat way to kind of keep track of some of the different things that are in the parks and some different souvenirs. Now, pins on their own can be kind of expensive. Right now, the current cheapest pins at Disney are starting off somewhere around $8 to $9 a pin if you're buying them individually. You can actually buy them in sets, though, similar to this, and if you buy them in a set, the price will go down, so you can get them cheaper. Some people buy them online in big, large lots from eBay and Amazon. Let me give you some advice. Don't. Those big, huge lots where you're paying 25, 50 cents a pin, they're not real Disney pins. They may look like it on the surface. They might seem like it. They'll tell you in their ads that they're tradable. They're fakes. They're what's called a scrapper. They're basically made in an imitation of the Disney pin with much cheaper materials, much lower quality, and they are not anywhere near as good. I do have some in my collection that I've kept just because I like the pin, but generally, yuck. Most of them are worth just tossing in the trash or using for craft projects or other things. They're not good pins. You want real Disney pins. And there's a couple different ways to get them. You can buy them or you can trade for them. Now, not every pin on a cast member's lanyard is going to be real, so it's a good idea to learn how to tell the difference. And I've actually made a video about how to tell the difference between real and fake pins. There's a number of other video sites out there as well, so it's good to educate yourself. But we're getting ready to pin trade. Now, they're constantly releasing new pins that are called cast exclusives, or hidden Mickeys. And in fact, on this page here, I've actually got a few of them. These are actually cast lanyard pins, that the only way you could get them for the real ones is by trading on a cast lanyard. And there's different series they come out with every 3 months, and I've actually already printed off the ones for the last 2 quarters, so that way when I'm looking at cast lanyards to trade, I can know right off the bat if it's a real pin or a fake, because they haven't had a chance to fake those yet. And then I need pins to trade. So where do I get my pins? I buy them in the parks. I go to a place in Orlando when I'm in town called Character Warehouse, and they will have discount pins on sale. That's actually how I got these. These were only $2 a pin, and so I bought a few of them, so that way I had some nice, cheap traders. And these are actually really nice pins, too. But I also buy them online from a Facebook group called Pinderella. And Pinderella is wonderful. She actually has a website you can order pins, where you can order grab bags of pins, and she will send you pins that are great for traders. And so that is where I got this, as well as this. And typically, when you order her grab bags, you're paying $2 or less a pin. So you can get some great deals. And in fact, a lot of the traders that I have, this little villain set right here, and the nerd pins, and some of the others like that, I've gotten from her inexpensively. And so I've got a real nice pocket full of pins that I can take and trade and have them ready, where I can just go ahead and get rid of them. So that gives me a nice supply of trading pins. So how do you trade with a cast member? Well, if they've got the lanyard on, you just walk up and say, hey, may I see your pins? They'll hold it out, let you take a look, and if you see one you like, say, hey, may I please have that one? And they'll do a trade with you for it, a real authentic Disney pin. Has to be a Disney pin. And you'll notice on the back of them, they should all say that it's a Disney pin trading pin. Should have all those stamps. You can only trade 2 pins at a time with a cast member. And here in the States, the cast member is not supposed to tell you no. If you're offering them a Disney pin, they're supposed to trade you. Now, if you get into Paris, Paris does have a little bit of rules at Disneyland. Over there, they can actually tell you no. They want to have a similar pin for a similar pin. So, for example, a limited edition for a limited edition, or a more expensive pin for a more expensive pin. So, for example, this one that I have from Shanghai Disney, they would trade for a larger pin. But if you wanted to offer them this pin at Disneyland Paris for this pin, they would tell you no. Now, at Walt Disney World or Disneyland California, if you offered them that pin for this pin because somebody was silly enough to put that on a lanyard, well, yeah, they tell you yes. They can't tell you no. But it's rare to find something like that on a lanyard, and that would only end up there if some silly guest traded for it. So that would be crazy. Although it does happen. I have actually seen pins similar to this on lanyards occasionally. Not quite that big, but some fairly nice pins. But it's not just trading with cast members I'm excited about. Disneyland also has some active pin traders that aren't cast members but meet in the parks. So on Tuesdays, they will be in Frontierland. On Sundays, they will actually be out in between the 2 parks at some picnic tables. And so I have some special pins that I am taking to hopefully trade with them as well. So not only do I have my cast lanyard trading pins, but then I'm also taking a few that are worth a little more, I hope, and might be able to offer some better trades. So I've got a couple pins on lanyards. These are just basic pins, but they're, still a little better than just the little grab bag pins. I've got another set of Star Wars pins, which I may or may not trade. But then I also have this one, which I already mentioned, and a couple of the other pins from Shanghai Disney that I'm taking with me. I've actually got a Universal pin, because, hey, every now and then somebody wants something a little different. But then I'm also taking a couple pins that you can't get here in the States. One is one that I picked up on my trip to Disneyland Paris. It's the Tower of Terror in Disneyland Paris. And then I'm also taking along a cast member pin that I happen to have a duplicate of. This is actually from my time working at Walt Disney World. And it's based on the hotel room do not disturb signs. But the only way you could get that pin was if you were a cast member. There was no other way. So I've got a couple extras that I'm hoping I can trade. I've got some other sets of traders, and I'm going to be working the lanyards, hoping to get those cast lanyard sets. If you see me in the park, hey, stop me, say you want a pin trade, because I will have pins to trade. I'd be happy to take a look and see if there's something there. And of course, I will also have my SirWillow pins. Now, I can't trade these for real authentic Disney pins. They won't let me. But if you want to trade for some SirWillow pins at Disneyland, I'll be happy to do it. So that's kind of a brief little look at my Disney pins, and excited to be able to trade and what I'm looking forward to with it. I've been buying the little grab bags from Pinderella for about the last 2-3 months. Just a few dollars here, a few dollars there, so it spreads out and I don't notice it. And I've got, probably about 25-30 pins I'm ready to trade. I hope. So, do you like pin trading? Do you not know much about pin trading? Let me know what you think. Hey, if you want to try and trade some of these after my Disneyland trip, who knows? If I got some left, I'd be happy to take a look at that as well. Love to hear your comments below. Don't forget to like and share the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much to my patrons for helping make this trip possible, as well as part of my pin addiction. And again, thank you so much to Alex and Teach Us Media for making this trip possible. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless. 4 days. Just 4 days. Can't wait. If you'd like to know about my merchandise, fan pages, and more, be sure to check the description below. If you'd like to know whenever I've got a new video posted, well, make sure you hit that button right up there and subscribe. If you'd like to watch another one of my videos, I've got a great one for you right here. And if you'd like to be like these wonderful people here and support me financially on Patreon, well, make sure you check the link right there. There's even some extra perks for them. Thank you so much, and God bless.